welcome to a WeQ workshop. We have I put quite a big title just for marketing purpose. Lead from doing agile to being agile, and neuroscience back game like this is the answer. So I hope you find out some kind of answer today. And my name is Ohyoon. I'm from Amsterdam, Netherlands. Originally from South Korea, but being in Netherlands and Europe for the last 10 years. And my German is basic, but I learned German in my high school. I used to German perfect, not anymore. I have some emotional connection with German-speaking people and Norwegian. And we co-organized this workshop with Philip, and Philip is actually created all connection and possibility in Graz with me and with my company WeQ. Thanks a lot to Philip today.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so today what we try to achieve in 90 minutes, on top of the lot of heat in this room, so it's just well filled. We are not, too many, luckily. I want to achieve 3 things. First, I want to connect with you. Well, we all know about Agile. We already dived into Agile for 2 days, more than 2 days. So I want to connect with you. What are the barriers or sort of pain points when we want to help team to be high performing? But there is a buzzword, doing Agile. Already a lot of companies and teams are doing Agile, like Scrum, Kanban, better process, more transparent process. But more being Agile, what does it mean? Yeah, I think everybody has a certain kind of idea. But anyway, how can we push the team to better position, more performing, more happy? And what are the bottlenecks there? And how can we sort of leverage or inform our techniques and our approach if we have a better understanding about how our brain works? Everybody carries the brain, and I think we can better life if you know a bit more about our brain. So that's our offer. And here in front of you, we have some practical game you can play. So this is the game my company developed, WeQ, where WeQ's name is WeQ. It's a collective quotient. So we quotient. So I have IQ, intelligence quotient, EQ, emotional quotient. Now, I believe the company and team needs intelligence in a group, where the group develop and carry and improve the intelligence. That's what our company wants to offer. Yeah. And I want to know a bit about who we are here, the people, about maybe 30 people. So I prepared the 3 questions. I was thinking of some line of exercise, but it's too hot today. So just raise your hand. Who think I'm from quite far away from Graz? Just feel that I feel far away from Graz. Yeah.
I didn't understand the question.
Yeah. Who feel that subjectively I'm coming from quite far away geographically from Graz? Yeah.
Because you're coming from Amsterdam.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Who myself, I'm from far away from Graz. Myself from Amsterdam. Where are you from?
Cologne.
Cologne. Here.
From Greece.
Greece. Oh, indeed.
That's good.
Okay.
And then over there,
Italy.
Italy. And the rest, we are all from Graz. Good. Yeah, that's where we are. And next question is, we are all doing working with team, I believe. If you think about your role at the company, at the team, is your role in the team, working with team daily basis, like developer, whatever, business analytics, product owner, or do you see yourself more outside of team, helping team from outside? Can be different roles, maybe manager, maybe an agile coach. Inside. Yeah. The rest is outside. Could you give me an inside role, few of the role inside?
Scrum Master?
Scrum Master?
Developer?
Developer? In this table? Developer? And outside?
Agile coach.
Agile coach. Why do you think Agile coach is from outside?
But it's not a Scrum Master being part of the team. It's for the whole organization. So.
Organization. And this table?
Agile coach.
Agile coach? Yeah.
I've recently worked as an IT auditor, and then you, of course, from outside.
Right, more consultant basis, freelance basis. Yeah. So we have this dynamic who is inside the team and who is from outside helping the team. And here, last question, is your team doing Agile today or already being Agile? We are not going to go to the discussion on what does it mean, but just subject to the what are the maturity, what is the maturity of my team or teams I'm helping with. We are currently doing Agile. We are at the doing Agile. Yeah, could you share the why do you pick doing Agile?
I think what you hear in a lot of the talks is that it's a lot of about the mindset,
Yeah.
and I don't think the mindset goes through all of the employees yet.
Hmm?
So it's partly yeah, but it's not like fully
Okay,
there.
thank you. And being Agile, here the purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that
That you
we
recognize.
have effective feedback loops,
Yeah.
effective iterations, effective learning cycles. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
In our company, we don't have one agile model to follow, but we base it on a project, so we always change depending on the customer and on the size of the teams.
Right.
So I think it's more being than doing.
More mature, more feel in the more developed stage. So, well, I think the point is we all want to be better ourselves, also in the group. We want to be high perform, also be satisfied, happier, and yeah, that's our shared goal today. And I want to talk about what are the barriers toward being agile. Just few words, few examples.
It's hard. It's hard to change the mindset,
Mm.
and also you can't really measure it. You know, if somebody has an agile mindset,
Yeah. And what is agile mindset for you?
that you're open to change and you
Yeah.
don't complain a lot,
Mm.
and yeah.
And do you think here for being agile, is your team not complaining, less complaining than before? If you compare?
They do complain,
Yeah.
which is essentially fine for me because it's an indication where there are areas for improvement.
Right.
But the point is they are improving them.
Mm.
They do find and they do find solutions, adapt, implement. So
Right.
that's the point for me, which is what I like.
Right. So not per se about whether our team is complaining or not complaining, but taking actions and putting into improvement. Yeah.
Committing to them. Yeah.
Right. Other examples, other points? Want to share?
Because maybe people are not sure that they want to change.
Not sure whether they want to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also if the organization would really want to change.
Like a bit of unclear directions. Well, I recognize also many constants that people say we want to change, but they don't firmly believe we are really going to change. Because then changes happen on and on, then change become a sort of a ritual, just words, a symbol, but not really changing. Yeah.
They don't trust the company,
Yeah.
meaning that if they think that if they are they are changing, they are in this process, they'll fail, and they'll be punished for this, as they were done before.
Right. Yeah. And would you like to share something about the trust in your team and company?
Basically, communication is very open and transparent. So we don't discourage complaints, but from what I have observed, there are not too many, but they are openly discussed and usually acted upon.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Interestingly, well, today's subtopic is about feedback, and feedback is not per se complaint, but complaint is something that we like to do all the time. It's too hot. It's really hot. Yeah, it's something that feedback is something. It's coming from quite the biological term. If something is out of the baseline, then you have to act upon it. You have to counteract to bring it back. So that's feedback and complaint, and that is not about complaint is bad, but it's about how to act on it. And I wanna share a bit about I just said on upfront. To bit of more insight on how our brain works, especially about feedback, about dealing with complaint, negative feedback, positive feedback. and also the connection with, in the context of how we as a human work in a group. With an IQ, EQ, and VQ, we are now in the stage where we really have to collectively cooperate and challenge the big problem like climate change, for instance. Individual A company, A country cannot solve this big problem. So one question I want to start is Homo sapiens, our species, smarter than the rest of the animals?
I would say it's more adaptive because human beings can live on the South Pole and North Pole in the desert on
Right.
5,000
Yeah.
meters high and so on.
Yeah,
So they are
exactly.
very adaptive, and
Yeah.
that's why they are so successful as a race, I think.
Right, indeed. Yeah, I think it's only animal in the world who can survive any climate, even this kind of climate, right? Yeah, very adaptive. Yeah. And yeah, that's the picture that yeah, three types of sort of sapiens. Sapiens is species we have been evolving last millions of years, and the brain tells something. There are many aspects you can address about the human development intelligence, but I'm specifically interested in the brain and how our brain works in more on the physiological and the neural basis. I'm not a neuroscience, but I read a lot of books and videos and try to get grip on it. I want to share just a little bit. And interesting thing is the brain size matters. So if you look at this chart, what is the, start from the Australian, the more former chimps age and Homo habilis and erectus. As you can see, the x-axis is time, millions of years, and the y-axis is the capacity of brain. And you can see the last part is we see the big leap of the size of brain is like tripled compared to the early stage of human. So as our brain size get bigger, we become smarter. But more interestingly, we can look at that what portion of brain is get bigger. But is there any part of brain also got smaller than the chimps or any other part? And the second, it's very interesting. So this is the brain, and these are the sensory, and the hand is just the motor part. And as you can see, it's hard to see, but here it's a no smell, and this percentage is written 32%. The olfactory sensory, and the brain where it's process the olfactory information, is just 32% compared to chimp, like our just very close to species next to the human. Just 32%, far more smaller, means it's not as smart as chimps, in terms of how you can smell. And also, if you look at the visual, it's 80 or 60. Better to see this. 60% we see less than, not as good as other animals like chimps. But what is very dramatically interesting is this part, prefrontal. Basically, the part of brain here, prefrontal, got 202% increased compared to the early stage of our former ancestor, double the size. But as you can see that there's some compromise, other part gets smaller, but this part got extremely enlarged. And if you believe we are getting smarter and we are very adaptive and we humans basically conquer the entire world and run this earth, it will be very interesting to understand what does this part do, prefrontal cortex, right? And this is another funny graphic, funny scientists research different things, and if the cortex size matter, then what's the proportion of cortex in other types of animals? So cats, in fact the mammals has cortex. So monkey, cats, dogs, this purple part is cortex. So a certain aspect, we all have cortex. The human has really a large cortex. And what does it do? And then, there are many things you can talk about, but there's very symbolic research done in 1850, only 100 years. 1850? Yeah, a long time ago. Can you imagine a man can live without this cortex, the frontal cortex? Is he still human? Yeah, in fact, this is the actual case, 1850, so more than 100 years ago. In America, he's the Phineas Gage, who was the railroad worker, who working to lay down the rail in America, who got an accident of the bombing accident, where the beam, the metal beam, penetrate his eye, and this is the sort of the part that was damaging this partially the prefrontal cortex. But he surprisingly was able to survive 12 years further after the incident. So he can actually, we as a human being can function certain level without the part that distinguish us from the rest of genes and so on. But can you imagine what's the changes of this person? If he survived, if he able to live and he even work at the, after this accident, even at work at the chauffeur, the driver of the small the cargo or something.
I think he lost his empathy somehow. Is this the case? And his social skills and so
Social
on,
skills,
the ability to connect with others.
Yeah.
So he's got the psychopath or sociopath, I think.
Yeah.
No, I heard this case once, but
Right.
yeah, you will tell us.
It can be you can speculate what would be the ability or our characteristics really distinguish us human from the rest of animal. What do we miss if we don't have a fully working the brain, the cortex?
Well, as you said, the capability to connect with others,
Yeah.
the empathy. I mean, it's what distinguishes us from them.
Mm.
Not really,
Yeah,
mostly.
empathy. Yeah, empathy is in fact, but if you look at the chimps, have you watched any documentary about the like Jane Goodall?
They are empathetic.
They are very empathetic. Surprisingly, they are even like hugging people and very empathetic. Even I watch video and then they don't even have like judgment. Like, how come they're so pure? So in fact, empathy might be, but not the main part in this case. Empathy is more on the limbic part.
It's the,
But yeah.
on the feelings.
Yeah. So the key part was self-controlling and also controlling their behavior in terms of sort of moral criteria. So he used to be very friendly, hard worker, well respected. But after this incident, he basically insulted other people very, very badly. And a bit of psychopath can be. And he cannot control his behavior, he become an addict, gambling. He cannot plan further, he cannot plan like several days and weeks planning. So that part has been basically gone as a human adult. Yeah. So I want to go a bit deeper on this part. Well, this is a very technical diagram. I just want to put it to see how complex it is. And yeah, scientists getting more and more understanding on how our brain works. Basically, brain has a combination of multiple modules and multiple parallel or modules of computing. And there are two basically quite very important systems. You may have heard about system 1 and 2. And it can be a dopaminergic system or limbic system. But the left one is the blue line. You can see this line, this channels of information flow is really going through this frontal part. So this is the dopaminergic, where our prefrontal cortex is engaged. And this part is more limbic brain. It's really on the core inside, where about the memory and the long-term memory and the emotion is being processed. And if you look at these two different things, and also if you look at how we can help the individual and team perform at the best level, we want to see the team who can think and reflect and plan the future and so on. We don't want to have a team who is very not able to control oneself and not able to postpone their immediate desire for future goal. So we want to see the people who have a high performing the cortex. Yeah? And we have some more experiential examples. I think this is quite famous, marshmallow test. How many people want to heard about marshmallow test? Yeah, majority, so I don't need to say too much. But this is part where the scientists put the children of age of few years to 5 years to give one marshmallow and say that if you can wait for 15 minutes without me, I will offer you 2. And many children failed, some succeed, and then they do follow-up tests, sort of observation about the life outcome, about the education level, about their health outfit, and so on. And their argument is the children who manage to postpone the immediate gratitude, where I will not touch the marshmallow for 15 minutes to get 2, have a more successful outcome, which is controversial. There are follow-up experiment, and then people argue about it. But this is mainly about our function of the prefrontal cortex, where you can control the basically postponed immediate gratitude, immediate reward. If you take the one candy and eat it, you get reward. Sugar is reward. But if I wait and I get 2, I can control myself for the bigger reward. That's about the test. So that's where the children is able to engage the cortex. And the other case is about the terror attack in the news. And this is related with our emotional brain and limbic brain. Does anyone want to share how this incident, we all experience this incident, is related to our brain? Could you try, maybe somebody can explain what kind of thing happened in our brain when you watch this news? Because we all watch this news, and we are all affected by it. Now, what did you feel when you watched such news?
Pain.
Pain.
Disbelief.
Disbelief.
So I first heard it on the radio, and I thought it was something like the radio play, War of Worlds, something like this.
Terror attack, 100 people died. But why do we care? People die anyway. People die in the hospital, car accident, everybody, tens and 100 people die out. Why are we so engaged with such incident in a global scale?
Isn't it about the significance at once? If you compare it like car accidents happen each day, no big news. However, when a plane accident happens, it's big news because there are many people affected.
Right. It was not happening every day. You know, the novelty, it's a news. It's a new, not happening every day. If everybody die every day, it's normal. This is not every day. This should be one reason. Yeah.
We can anticipate what tragedy experience.
What strategy?
The tragedy or the
tragedy. You can really feel it. Right.
I had with this very incident a strange thing, because I also heard it first on the radio, and there was an uncertainty because they were first saying bombs and stuff, and I was like, Third World War, and really panicked. And then, I mean, it was horrible what happened, but I still, when I saw it was not war but a terror attack, there was some kind of relief, which is really strange. It really depends on how you're brought to the situation. So I thought, okay, yes, America is under attack, and in a way it was, obviously, but it was not the same as it was reported in the news in the beginning, when nobody knew what was going on.
Uncertainty of what's going on. So it's not happening every day. There are a few criteria: uncertainty, novelty, not every day, and out of control. But one thing is, terrorists really knows how to shake the system, right? Because they are the weakest. They're not majority. They don't have army to really address the proper army, but they know how to attack. And when we see such situation, like of course we keep seeing small and big terror attack, we feel so much affected, we feel that engaged, because is something that's the negative stimuli that spread very fast. Even though you are not happening over there, you really affected, it's spreading very fast because you feel that you may be the target of attack because of this uncertainty, because of the who's doing it is not certain. Maybe in our society it's kind of uncertainty and might happen here that spread fast. And what happened here, bring back to the brain part, you look at this core part, there's a part, small nut-sized piece in our brain, in limbic system called amygdala, where they're in charge of basically processing, sensing negative threat, right? Then it gets engaged, and then it's basically zoom in your attention, your sensory, visual attention, what's happening? Where is it? Am I in danger? To identify the danger, and then it tense up your body, it's pump the blood, you're ready to run away, you know, like tense the muscle to basically survive. So that's what happened when we watch such news, because it might happen in my neighborhood, and then in that case, this work opposite of this blue line, where we basically open up, explore possibility, and we postpone the immediate gratitude. You don't want to search the 5 different options to run away. You just have one direction and then you go for it, right? You don't need to think and reflect and judge. So that's sort of opposite our brain situation. And you can also recognize in a team, when the team is in a tension or like a negative mood, when people complain a lot, yeah, you just keep drilling the same thing on and on, instead of engaging in a plan and working toward it. So that's basically one of the sort of takeaway we can think of. How can we keep the teams on a reward state, and how can we manage ourselves if we perceive there's a threat coming in? Because of course we are trained to really have both ability. But what you can think of in today's workplace, there is no threat that really kill or really kill yourself. Roof is there, you can find another job. It's more of sort of your expectation. What is the threat for me? And how do I sort of switch from threat to unthreat? That kind of trick we can think of. Yeah. So, check the time, half an hour. So here, to make it very practical, because we are not a neuroscience, and it's just good to have some understanding on how our different brain parts work. I wanted to have some useful idea we can keep the team in the reward state, and also how can you apply it. So lately amongst the different principles and ideas, I come up with 6 scientific principle that keep the team in the reward state. And here's the poster. And I try to find a nice word that people can use and remember, called PLACES, P-L-A-C-E-S. Positivity, labeling, autonomy, connection, equality, and safety. And which you can, probably you've been already doing it. With the positivity is simple, give more praise to your team to make your team in the more positive environment. And that's the one. And the labeling is use the sort of right language to offer feedback, and both compliments and critics. And autonomy is give people control on interaction. And connection is be present and look at each other's eyes and connect in the physical interaction. And equality is in the discussion, people take turn, and everybody has equal opportunity to speak and contribute. And safety is, yeah, I think there is something comes out once the rest are fulfilled, that you don't feel the insecure that my action or contribution, speaking one idea might be a backfire. So these are the principles. And of course, principle itself is not yet useful. So that's why we have this develop the game tool where people can apply the principle in more experiential way. So I feel that people are eager to move on the game.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, yes. All right. Yeah, we all have the thing, and so this is sort of complete system we developed, including the things you see, the cards and the board and cubes, and also mobile app, and the train, the coach, and the interactive slide. And we involve a team in certain mechanism to offer feedback that based on the principle. And today we cannot experience everything, so we have only the physical exercise without the app, without the interactive slide. So the group is way too large because it's supposed to be used within a real team of 12 people. So that's the condition. And yeah, so let's try, and I will go back to how it should work in the more bigger and actual mode. Yeah. Right. So here you see this map, and because of the time, we're gonna use only the four sort of place that's they're close to you. This 1, 2, 3, 4. This part. So what you're gonna do is select the 3 cards randomly right now because you can customize it for you. 3 cards, 4 different colors from the deck in the middle, and putting it to you, and then lay down on the position. Yeah.
Every single player should draw 3 different colored cards and take.
Actually, 4 cards. Sorry, 4 cards.
Okay.
And then, I hope you have enough.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, 4 different colors, please. And then you place the card on the position on the A4 page. You look at the picture, like, see? Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the. And in actual game, basically what you're doing is preparing the topic of conversation and feedback in the session. And through the process, we customize the cards. And in the deck, we have 96 different descriptions. But it doesn't matter today because you don't experience it. So basically, we want to experience one of the module in our game where the group exchange positive messages, compliment each other, and also take the cube, one for each. And this cube is made for expressing your opinion, your choice. And the cover is basically used in one of the member who is taking turn. Everybody's cover? Yeah. Okay.
Doing extra.
Minimum, yeah.
So who wants to start? Maybe.
What now?
Everybody has
Not
one.
now.
And I check can you help your colleague whether everybody has the card on the right position? For instance, you need to have 3 and 1. Check. Alright. So here over there, can you please put the card in such way, the 3 and 1? Yeah. 3 on the first row and 1 in the next one. Yeah, that's good.
So it matters.
And what you're gonna do now, the first exercise, is to open the card in the middle in the first row. Yeah. And read it for yourself. And this is the you consider it as your best quality you have, and which is recognized by yourself and your team, if you don't hold process. Yeah. So basically, a machine, the system, offer you a compliment. Yeah. So next exercise is open the card in front of you, the card that most close to you. Yeah. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna offer a positive message to your colleague on your right. So you're gonna take the turn. So you're gonna start one by one. Let's start with someone here, and then Han, and then here, and you here. So you should read 2 cards. What's on the written, the statement, so then the group can listen to it. And you choose 1 out of 2 cards, which you think maybe because it's kind of stranger in the group, you think is more applicable to your colleague, your participant on your right. So look at the face and but read the card and then pass the card to your on the right as a compliment. Yeah.
Okay. I don't really want this, but I think that you think that every situation offers a chance to learn. I give this to you.
So beide vorlesen und dann schaust du, ob das
It's my turn.
Maybe if you can add nutrition, just fresh wine.
It's around the table. You have cards to give feedback.
Actively taking part.
Regularly presence.
And this should continue. The person who received the card will say,
I don't know German, so I hope you
look at
you are a good listener. Yeah? And you ask the questions.
Du machst das quasi mit den anderen zwei, wie du hast
Let's take one of those, or is it always the lower one?
No, one of those. And maybe you can also pass a compliment.
So the one that I think fits best is pass.
Are we allowed to pass a compliment to the next?
Yeah, no, not the one you received, but you use the new 2 cards.
But one of those 2 I can pass to the one I think fits best.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's pretend.
Thank you.
One is like you're very is like
Du
machst dir keine Gedanken darüber, was da
Never
so
go with a joke.
into you.
Wenn du eine Geschichte erzählst,
You can make fun of people with you do not write about something that will take a long time. I think we can make fun of people. Yeah.
Okay, we can
And we are all wondering what the cubes are.
No use for a lot of things. And also, good job. Like to go out. And yeah.
Yeah, if the first round is over,
Thank you.
yeah, you all received
One more. You have stories that are interesting enough for others to repeat. You don't pretend to like things just to impress people. I would say you tell stories that are interesting enough for others to repeat because you have a lot of experiences and put them on to other people.
Probably that was my mistake. Yeah.
So we all complete the first round. So, yeah. Maybe everybody wondering about this cube's purpose. So we're gonna move to the next round. So it will be now more interesting to actively exchange, compliment each other, a bit more deeper level. It's gonna be a little bit harder, but it's possible, surprisingly, even though each other are strangers. So now you see the two cards are left, which is still on the flip down. So don't open it yet. And first, there's some procedure involved. The group should decide who's gonna take the cover, who's gonna take the first turn. Yeah. Anyone can take one. Yeah. There's the turn taker. And the player with the cover open the two cards. And read the statement. Read the two different statements to the group, so everybody can listen which card we are talking about. Would you please do that?
You finish what you start.
You want to get to the bottom of things. You can raise difficult subjects without offending anyone.
You listen to the thoughts and opinions of others without judging them.
Now, we all have this cube, and the group, individual going to choose one out of two colors, which you think the card, the statement fit better for the person.
For you.
Yeah. And then
Okay, you have to choose.
the turn taker has a color, and you make a choice first, and you hide your choice in the color. So that's the first step number one.
And where
The
should
turn taker make a choice first, and then once the turn taker complete the choice, the rest group make a choice.
Yeah.
Ich glaube nicht, dass sie wieder für sich.
So we're talking about So you're either
We have to choose one choice.
Once the group wait,
For what's the thing first there, so.
The second one is you
the group wait is player one make a choice. Once it's done, you have to see together, you reveal your think about him. Is it orange or violet? Or him?
I say blue.
It's hard to do.
Keep your choices here.
We all agree.
So we know each other.
You have to keep your choice hidden. You already yeah, but that is keep your choice hidden. So keep your own choice hidden, and once the choices are open, yeah, and the turn taker designates 2 people in a group, only 2, by looking at the face, looking at the color you choose, and ask for why, feedback. Why did you choose these 2 colors?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
So why did you choose that?
That a long time now. It's obvious. That's the right answer.
So you can find who chose which cards to cards.
No, why you chose the color.
Okay, why she believes she knows. Okay.
Why we should do
And why do you think I would do it?
This sounds like pretty weird. Because for the half an hour you have known each other.
Yeah. We've been in the talk before, right?
Yeah, even longer. So we have history. I believe it's very well. Okay.
They explain why, yeah.
Long, trustful relationship.
Yeah, I know.
Are we sure?
Yes. I have
So you.
So the next one.
Yeah.
Should I have to explain all myself?
Yes.
My explanation why I choose this one or that one. I think
You learn from
something. The first thing what you see is not always the thing why you're doing something. I think there's always or really often something behind it, and I would really like to understand why something happens, why people do something, and not just why they do this. So it's more interesting for me to get the real reason, not just the thing what happened. And also, I think for me it's not that easy to create difficult subjects for somebody else because I'm really direct, and sometimes somebody feels that really. Yeah, I don't know how to explain in English.
You feel it like this, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that good. I'm really direct. So somebody.
Goals are applicable for you. Is this boundaries?
Thank you.
I have observed you during learning this game, and you learned from when you corrected us. So obviously, in my opinion, you are learning from past experiences.
But really nobody can get it like a self-reflecting because, yeah. I think it's like that, and I just how it follows.
Hey, it was my turn.
Sorry, but I know that
Yeah.
What are they?
Turn taking, everybody takes
tell it right now, because I need to tell it.
Yes.
Okay.
I understand the sense that you really know each other, right? And then it might not be helpful. So
throw it away.
The first one is teamwork. Regardless, you say what you want.
The way you see things
And the other one is problem
have
solving.
to get clarity in chaotic reality.
Steps
And then, if somebody
So
says
to make an
something
idea,
important, then I put it in my phone. I guess. Yeah, then and put away the other disturbances. No, I have two.
Which color was the blue one and the other one? Blue and green.
Is that
Yep, that's my phone. But I'm not, yeah, exactly. It was a correct question before. Is it your phone? Yes, it is. You're listening to us. I expected it to be right answer.
When I looked at you during the game, sometimes you corrected my wrong assumptions. So your view, was it formulated? Your view created clarity. On the other hand, you're the only one who has this card ready. So maybe you're checking it. So it's I didn't observe you checking it. So but I saw maybe you're more person who
Now let's make a pause. Some people already finished, but let's make a pause now. We are still running as. Is there any group who have finished the round?
Yeah.
Both here?
No, just one people.
Just one. Everybody finished the round of all the cards?
No, not yet.
Yes, finished. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, I see you are doing it in the mood, but there are the parts I see you can improve also using some of the principles. It's a little harder for the group who don't know each other, but you can think of one of the principles which is positivity. Well, I hear often when you make choices, because I just hear that I made choice. I chose, if you have a 2 card, I chose blue because I don't see orange because we are developer or yeah. Which is you can do easily. It's more deduction. You're more choosing because of the other one is really bad. Yeah. But in this RQ mechanism, we want to keep things positive. So that we want to avoid. If you do it a bit harder, of course, because you don't know each other more. Well, but what you have to happen is think about the example of 2 different cards, the qualities and statement that written. Think about the other person, and you need some experiences on a person, of course, because you're the team. And then choose the quality that will be more stronger than the other, instead of choosing the cards because the other card is not existing. But that's not really positive. So it's more the extra positive card you want to choose. You get the point? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So which is this personal really create a positivity, really create a also showing the gratitude to your colleague, because I have seen this, you did that, I chose this. And other principle is when you offer a compliment, you must also supply a concrete example. Not just reading the statement, but yeah, yesterday, today, I saw you did that. Or what I saw, that's also a good way to start, because it's factual when you can reflect about it. So the example is very absolutely mandatory when you offer feedback, yeah, especially to the positive. And also I can say something about the labeling. The reason we have all the statement is written, but this is the sort of the language that we think break the ice and start the conversation, just as a starting point. And it's somehow written in such a way that is positive, also concrete enough to connect with the reality, and still kind of vague, so have some open up the multiple interpretation, so it can steer the conversation in a right direction. That's another principle we apply. And then another one is turn taking. Here you just recognize example that someone also want to step in I want to say something, but maybe that's not your turn. Maybe you are not chosen to say. Then you rather stay quiet and listen, and then let other people also participate. So shall we finish the round based on a few more principles that we just touch upon?
Yes, we should do this.
Okay. And this is done already, so this way.
This is managed conflict, and it's used to write it to help them
I use punctuation.
Ja, aber im Team, glaube ich, ist es immer so, ins Gespräch zu kommen.
And ideas I
Basically, you're fighting for your values and ideas.
Surprise! Yeah.
So these are selected from
Victoria described
also
First,
it's very nice.
that nobody likes except if they want to be polite or
Yeah.
respect to the other.
And I think it
the other side is always
nice,
always
like one of my strengths is that nobody gives up.
So if something bad happens or not as planned, it's not a reason for you to give up. It's rather there's a little reason to try and do it.
I don't have to.
So you learn how to failure and give it another chance.
One is honest, and don't spend time worrying
To be honest,
the other one is selfish.
It's just for your eigentlich die solchen Situationen halt im Vorsitz brauchen können am neuen Team
way to get to your plans and to your values. So,
das ist auch mit der Fibonacci-Skala genau. Du lässt den Product Owner, wer auch immer die User Stories vorstellt, so als alle neuen Glaubenssatz haben wir Idee davon und dann lässt du sie zum Beispiel auch hier ausheben. Stories nehmen und auf einer zum Beispiel Fibonacci-Skala ummessen, die dorthin legen, dass sie das dann also zusätzlich zu den Zahlen sortiere, von einer Biene über das Eichhörnchen und alles erwarten. Und sobald die erste liegt, kommt die nächste zu der Bezugssetzung einfach ein bisschen mehr, weniger komplex oder wo auch immer. Genau, und du sitzt jetzt immer zu und das Team redet mit dem Team.
Yesterday, I noticed on the station, I got that you're not sure what you would like to do because you're interested in so much stuff. That's the reason why.
Yeah, we will spend 5 more minutes to finish the round.
First
one is English.
Oh, sorry, I had to ask you before.
That's true. It's just heavy. Aligned.
So yeah, I have no complete example, unfortunately. So, but it is a matter about self-reflection. So, and I could see that when you opened the card, it started reflecting about it. And so that's yeah. I mean, probably cannot extrapolate from that one observation.
Nur im Vergleich zueinander von der auf die Maßnahmen konstellieren eigentlich Großmarkt, wobei da habe ich auch schon gehört, dass das scheinbar mit BND geschieht, weil eben zum Beispiel beim Matching Estimation was vielleicht da steht, wobei das ist wobei Impact zum Beispiel für die Firma, man kann mit wenig Aufwand ja sehr
putting the people together. Because you're not that knowledgeable in yourself. So you rather know.
So you're offering help whenever it is possible. You see things clear. You see clear how the things work together.
Wobei
I will start. We don't really know it, but I
eben im Austausch mit Stakeholdern neue Stories, ohne dass sie geschätzt sind, priorisiert, was ist dem am meisten gibt. Wobei man bei der Priorisierung wiederum Einfluss hat, eben leicht oder schwer zum Erledigen.
Okay, so,
Yes, they are. Well, maybe I joined Black Blue because I think you look like a first mover, that somebody really look up to you, and you inspire people with that because you're first mover, you don't hide, you move forward, that's how you look.
In a way, I get this feeling because Agile Austria podcast is what I work towards with HR people, like you are part of this. And it's a lot about
Yeah, my own choice was this because I often don't see that people have, so I would like to have, but
don't see it, but try to help is different.
yeah, but maybe I'm consciously ignoring it. So.
There's a genius that's saying that how you observe. That's the best. So you don't have to try to
but I think it's
It could be cool for a perspective research.
or to start feedback in a very shy way. I have a team of, I remember a team of mostly Java developers. They could sit together and actually do
then maybe you think about why.
Yeah, also by doing more rounds, conversations.
I think it's just a pun on EQ and
Yeah, just 1 minute left. Sorry.
Wir machen nur eine klassische Scrum, weil es ja alle Ding und drum ist das geschätzt.
But I think that's wrong because I selected by negativity.
So the round came up.
Maybe we need another round of this game.
I choose when you say I
You're also freelancing. The best case is for me, it's always why? I'm freelancer. Do whatever I want. Free time.
Actually, I didn't have 100% utilization, and it was good for preparing the talk, but yeah, sometimes you really need to find a project.
But in general, I would never work yeah, I would not switch to
Do you have experience working in some?
Yeah, I started in normal.
Yeah. So yeah, we experienced the one round, and yeah, we just of course the experience with the real team is gonna be quite different. But this, as we are quite know each other well, it's more on the get to know each other process. But what I want to offer now is here there are 6 qualities written on the paper with example. And sort of think about the 6 different qualities. And basically, do you want to, before that, Any question over to clarify how does one of the qualities, principle applied in the game? Positivity, labeling, autonomy, connection, equality, safety. Everything sort of clear? Have you experienced that this principle are applied? Any question?
How is safety applied?
Safety is if something happened after this round, first round, where you offer positive compliments, and then you feel that you can basically trust other person more. And also what happened is when you choose one of two cards, you sometimes recognize that basically admitting that when you talk about yourself, you admit that, yeah, I don't have much of this quality. You also admit the quality that you don't have. That's also showing a certain level of vulnerability. And this game also invites the participants to do that. Have anyone experienced that example while playing? Admitting I don't have this quality. Yeah?
Well, I would probably rephrase, rather than not having, that's not my strong.
Yeah, that's my strong one compared to other one. I have less on this. So admitting your sort of, yeah, let's just keep it easy. Weakness. That's just, sort of inviting people to be showing yourself a bit more. And that increased safety. And I wanna just make it more concrete for you. Like think about the 6 qualities, and you can take the small poster. And if this is A4 as a one principle only, and think about which of these principles you want to bring back to your team. To about this one, I think my team can get benefit. It can be a positivity, labeling, autonomy, connection, equality, and safety. And here is a statement written. Is it clear what the exercises? Yeah. Then yeah, come to the table here, and then you can think about which principle you wanna sort of take with you. Yeah, to bring back to your real team. Yeah, back to your team.
Take turns.
Now everybody come to us. It's individual. Think about your team. Just one quality.
At least we can grab a simple French.
Which of the principles do you think your team can most benefit from?
Sind wir eingecheckt?
Think about your real team that you go back tomorrow. Yeah, everybody got
You got the right one? Not all of us.
Was a fail print, maybe the first time.
Yeah, it has a double print hit, so you may have already chosen two. Yeah, let's share. Which person took a P, positive P?
Quality.
Yeah? Yeah, let's hear one person why. What motivates you to choose P?
Well, it helps with the others.
Yeah.
I mean, giving positivity, praising is making them feel secure, create a connection. So I guess it's what makes people give back.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't chosen something, but now I would choose safety.
I'm talking about the P.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else to choose P? Positivity. You want to share some personal reason why they chose it?
Yeah, I chose positivity because I think a lot of the times you always try to focus, the team focuses always on problems and what went wrong and all those things, and nobody talks about all the things that went correct and right. And it should be what we should keep in our team to improve our strengths.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, there's a bias called a negativity bias, where the negative experience, the negative stimuli have 8 times stronger, working stronger, and last longer, engage much more stronger than positive stimuli. That's why we are designed to act on the negative things, and we complain. That's our default design. That's why we have to actively counteract negative bias to give more positive message. As you said, it's about also showing a gratitude. Yeah, it's not only about telling a compliment. It works 2 ways. Right? Yeah. And anyone chose the L, labeling? It's about the language. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm the only one. Would you like to share some information?
I chose labeling because I think in a technical company we often talk about the technical problems, but we don't talk a lot about how they affect us emotionally. And I think it's very good to separate those 2 things, because sometimes the technical stuff doesn't work, but it has nothing to do because somebody wants to sabotage us, they don't like us. I don't know. So if you keep those 2 apart by correctly labeling the stuff, you can solve issues.
Yeah, indeed. It's good to give sort of attention to also addressing the people issues and non-technical issues, right? Yeah. And often it's hard to do, especially for technical professions. That's why having the statement is helpful. Anyone chose A, autonomy? Would you like to share?
Because for HR people or HR working team is very useful, or something that is at the basis to think that they can do something and in an autonomous way, so that they can differentiate between 1 or 2 and do something, so they have more sense in what they do.
Yeah, in the wiki game, to just connect, when you make choices, doesn't matter what to choose, is given power to you. I choose David and Nico. That's my choice. And you are empowered to solicit feedback. That's the technique we apply. Yeah. And equal connection. See, who would you like to share?
In my team, they usually have the feeling that they are fighting alone. They are moving to their specific topics, and whenever I'm there, I always try to give them the feeling that they are together in the community. And this is something they always lose when I'm not there. So this is something I want to bring them, to embed into them, that they can do it without anyone else. They can do it within their group. They don't need anyone outstanding outside. And I want to bring them more connection with each other.
Right. Yeah, your connection is really on the, it sounds a bit weird, I wish to have more nice explanation, but more physical attention. Because we are living in the digital world. Of course it's useful being on social, email, But when you are together, especially a team, it's a very precious time to get together. Having a time together, they try to stand up meeting, really quick connection, really having the proper eye contact, that really very, very powerful. And sometimes even having a gentle touch is also creating a bonding and trust. And yeah, equality, E. Yeah, would you like to share?
Yeah, I think that's always in a discussion or in a group observable that some people talk more than the others, and some people interrupt others. So everybody should get their fair share.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I can share as well. I choose equality because in my team, people think that others are not that important because they're external and not internal, and they have not the same rights.
You're used to having an equal feeling of the right and place. Here is one of the principles, one of the key group behavior where equality explained is turn-taking, you mentioned. You can usually see in the group discussion, a group with only a few members talk a lot and rest rather listen by default. Yeah, it's not the behavior of normal high-performing group. You should be invited to say, and also you really, if there's some shy person, personal situation, that's natural, then also you team should invite this more quiet person to speak more. Right? The last, safety. Who have chosen safety? Yes. Oh, Miguel. Yeah. You're in the back of. Yeah, would you like to share the group?
Well, I think in order to have innovation, you need to challenge assumptions, and I like this sentence a lot. That's why I picked safety, because if you have a team that feels safe, then you're allowed to experiment and speak of wild ideas, and I think this is quite the reason why we exist, to innovate.
Yeah. Any other person just safety? Yeah, safety, psychological safety is something become quite recognized last years. I think many of knows from the research from Google, from their you look at the most innovative company, and they figure that what is the differentiator, what is the key secret of high performing team in our company? The answer was the psychological safety they discovered, which is surprising for them because they thought it's about the degree, it's about the experience, it's about maybe the right combination of the team, but it's more on the whether the team members feel safe to share wild ideas or assure themselves, be vulnerable. That was the key condition. So we think how can we bring them to the team. There are different techniques, not only about WeQ, but you, as an Agile coach, also knows the different things. Right. So I hope that's something that this workshop can as one of takeaway, like from tomorrow when you go back to the team, you can really share your team what you think about this quality. How can we take action? Right. So I want to also question what happened after this round. We just have some quick experience of the one round of the offering positive messages, and I want to give a full picture and how it works. And this game is designed for using the multiple times because basically what you want to achieve is improving these 6 different qualities and behaviors and feedback, which is the one-time play cannot make last changes. So usual process is to start with half the kickoff session, and afterward team learn how to use it by themselves, and then team could use every month or every second month to have a quick 90 minutes sessions. Repetition is key to achieve behavior change. And along the way, there are two things can happen, so measuring the progress. So through the app, we measure 3 different things: control of cognitive bias, feedback behavior, and psychological safety. You can see the sort of changes over time. And when you do the short session on this short one, so you can choose what kind of topic, what kind of the purpose you want to bring. It can be bring the positive energy, offer the constructive criticism, or talk about diversity and more. And we are building the more different content. So keep the things interesting. And this is the full picture. So you just experienced a board game, and participant is up to 12. So it's addressing the actual team who are working together. And yeah, app and interactive slide is supporting the process. I can show you more. And this process is facilitated by a certified master coach. So coach, usually we have many Scrum Master or Agile coaches or professional who are getting trained and then deliver this methodology to the team. So I'm going to give you some of the screenshot how it looks like. So this is the software that the master coach have an admin account to register the team member, and then send the email, and then this is the rating of this criteria of the safety and feedback behavior. Here you can see where is the team standing. And then the next slide is there is a slide already inside of different languages, and you talk about the principles and how it works. And here we have interactive components. It's a bit like Mentimeter or Kahoot. Have you used? Yeah. We ask questions before and ask a game round. For instance, how many compliments have you received in last week from this team? To elicit checking the reality and challenging their mindset. Is compliment really matter? Why? So this kind of question being asked before and after to stimulate the discussion, and also to capture the data of what's happening. And also in terms of card, in the beginning of round, you don't randomly select the card, but based on the data the app collect, each person choose a specific card number, which we believe optimize the discussion. Because this is precious time, and we want to see that people talk about right things this time. So for instance, on this 7-card layout, 4 cards are selected from your strength or the quality that is recognized by yourself, by your colleague, and you select 3 cards which are the qualities that are not recognized by yourself and the rest. And then, this is the principles we talk about and engaged. This is the data collection during the session. So these are the example of questions, like what is the ideal ratio of praise or criticism of high-performing team? So basically, discuss why positivity matters, and what blocks the team to reach consensus, or which is more difficult, giving or receiving criticisms. And share some neuroscience principles. And then after each round of session, there's more report come out as an evidence of a game experience, and which you can, if you are someone who facilitate, you can use it to report back to the managers. Yeah, we played already. Right. So any question so far? We have 5 minutes.
But it's a game that is the focus is to play it in a team.
Yeah, in a
and not
like
in a training with a lot of people. So the people should really work in a team.
Know each other, work each other. Yeah. So not in the multiple group, but one group and focus on the one team.
I just wondered about your last sentence when you said you can use it to report it to the manager, but is this really the purpose of the game, or is it not contradictory to psychological safety?
Yeah, good question. Yeah. So that's something that somebody who facilitates a game can decide whether it needs it to show what's happening, because you can of course hide the names and do the treatment to keep the safety, as you understand the psychological safety, the purpose of this exercise. But always often hear that someone who authorized you to run this exercise knows what's coming out as an excuse or report. Yeah, so this poster is available for anybody to download. So you can go to the website wiki.io resources and you can download the PDF. And you can hang on the wall if you want. And yeah, so last I want to ask a question. If you are interested in running this for your team, for your employer, or if you're an independent coach, you can book workshop. And actually the Philip is our trainer in Austria, in Graz, so you can ask him to do so. And also if you are a Scrum Master or Agile coach, you can also getting trained as a half-day training to certify from WIQ to run this session for your team.
One question. So introducing feedback culture is often relevant for new teams. So let's say there's a project team being formed or whatever. So how long do you think they have to sit together until you can start this exercise?
Right. We see that for short time frame, there's a 2 or 3 sprint. If you look at Agile team, short enough. So it can be just a month and 5 weeks. It'll be good enough to start sharing feedback. Another question? Or any other comments about the experience?
It's easier than it looks like at first. So, like many board games.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that board game spending whole time just to understand the rules. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So if you are interested in one of the options, then you can contact us, me or Philip. There's an email written, I hope that's correct. And also this poster is working as a discount coupon. There's some value attached. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.